This is video of a strange light in the sky right around 6 tonight.
This video from one of our photographers that they sent in. We're still trying to figure out exactly what this is.
Something incredible has happened in the skies over Jerusalem, and it's leaving everyone speechless. A video has gone viral showing bright, strange lights floating above the city. Many people are asking if this could be a sign from ancient prophecies finally coming true, or is it just a coincidence? Stick around as we uncover the truth behind the miracle lights over Jerusalem.
Wow, that is the coolest thing ever. Dozens of people in the Portland area reported seeing something streak overhead both on Friday and Saturday night.
It all started with a video that's now going viral on social media. In the video, you can see some mysterious bright lights in the sky over Jerusalem, and a lot of people are watching them in shock. You can even hear people shouting, which makes this whole situation even more interesting. The video quickly spread online, and many users believe that what they're seeing are actual angels, or maybe even a sign from Jesus himself.
And maybe you looked up in the sky at midnight and you saw something strange. We actually got a dozen calls into the newsroom at midnight for a string of falling stars.
Jerusalem has a long history of being a place where miraculous events are said to happen. From ancient times to now, there have been countless reports of divine appearances, visions, and other supernatural events. It's not surprising that this latest video has caused such a stir. People have always believed that Jerusalem is a special city where heaven and earth meet. Let's take a quick look back at some of these historical sightings. One famous event is the vision of angels seen by the prophet Elisha's servant in the Old Testament. Then there's the story of Jesus' resurrection, where many people in Jerusalem claim to have seen him after he rose from the dead. More recently, there have been reports of strange lights appearing over the city during important religious holidays, leading some to believe that these are signs from God. The idea of angels appearing in Jerusalem is especially powerful because the city is considered holy in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. It's the place where Jesus was crucified and resurrected, where King Solomon built the first temple, and where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have ascended to heaven. With such a deep spiritual history, it's no wonder people are paying close attention to anything unusual happening in the skies above Jerusalem. Many people believe that the lights seen in the sky over Jerusalem could be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies from the Bible. The Bible is full of passages that talk about signs in the sky, angels appearing, and even Jesus returning in a miraculous way. For those who have read these prophecies, the recent video feels like a powerful sign that something big is happening. In the book of Revelation, there are many mentions of strange signs appearing in the sky before the end times. For example, Revelation 1:7 says, "Look, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him." This passage talks about Jesus returning and being seen by everyone. Another prophecy, in Matthew 24:30, says that there will be a sign of the Son of Man in the sky, and all the nations will mourn. It's easy to see why people are connecting these prophecies with the video that's now going viral. There are also prophecies from the Old Testament, like in the book of Daniel, where it mentions visions of angels and a Son of Man who comes with the clouds of heaven. These ancient texts have been studied for thousands of years, with many believers waiting for these signs to appear. So, when a video like this surfaces, it's understandable why some people feel like the prophecies are finally coming true. One interesting detail about this event is that it happened during the Feast of Tabernacles, a major Jewish holiday. The Feast of Tabernacles, also called Sukkot, is a time when people celebrate and remember how God provided for the Israelites during their journey in the desert. It's a time of joy, thanksgiving, and celebration. People build temporary shelters called sukkahs to remember the way their ancestors lived during the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. So why is the timing of this sighting important? Well, the Feast of Tabernacles is a very spiritual time for many people. It's all about God's presence and protection, and it includes special prayers for rain and blessings. During the feast, people even light large candles and hold processions, making it a time when the sky is filled with light and celebration. This has led some people to believe that the lights seen in the video might be connected to the feast's spiritual meaning, as if God was giving a special sign during this holy time. Another important part of the Feast of Tabernacles is the water drawing ceremony, where priests pour water as a symbol of asking God for his blessings. It's a very joyful ceremony, and many believe that God's Spirit is especially close during this time. If the lights in the sky were a divine sign, the timing couldn't have been better. It feels like a moment where heaven and earth were connected during a special celebration. Not everyone is convinced that what was seen in the sky over Jerusalem was a miracle. In fact, there are many people who think it's just a hoax, a natural phenomenon, or even a clever trick using technology. This section will dive into the skeptical viewpoint and explore the different theories that try to explain the event in a more logical way. One popular theory is that the lights were actually drones. Drones have become super advanced these days, and it's possible to use them to create incredible light shows in the sky. We've seen drones used in big events like the Olympics, where they light up the night with amazing patterns and shapes. It's easy to see how someone could have used drones to create something similar in Jerusalem, especially during a big festival like the Feast of Tabernacles, when people are already looking up at the sky. Another possibility is that the lights were caused by reflections or strange weather conditions. Sometimes, lights from the ground can reflect off clouds or fog in a way that makes them look like they're floating in the sky. This can happen when there's a lot of moisture in the air, or when the clouds are just the right thickness. People who study the weather say that this could explain the unusual lights seen in the video. Lastly, there's the idea that this whole thing could be a prank or a hoax. With modern technology, it's not hard to edit videos or add special effects to make it look like something amazing happened. There have been many fake videos in the past that fooled people, so it's possible that this is just another one of those tricks. Jerusalem is one of the most important cities in the world for three major religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. This makes the city a center of faith, but also a place where there are deep-rooted religious tensions. So when something unusual happens, like the bright lights seen in the sky recently, it can stir up a lot of strong emotions and debates among the different religious groups. For Christians, seeing these lights in the sky felt like a sign from heaven, possibly a sign of Jesus' return. Many Christians believe that Jesus will come back to Jerusalem in a powerful and miraculous way. So this sighting has made some believers feel like they are witnessing the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. On social media, Christians were quick to share the video, saying things like, "This is a sign of the second coming." The reaction among Jewish people was more mixed. Judaism does not accept Jesus as the Messiah, so the idea that he appeared in the sky over Jerusalem is controversial. Some Jewish people see the lights as a sign of angels or a divine message, but many others are skeptical and don't believe it has anything to do with Jesus. For them, it might just be an unexplained light in the sky rather than a sign of the Messiah. Muslims also have a unique perspective because they believe Jesus, known as Isa in Islam, is a prophet and that he will return one day. In Islam, Jerusalem is a holy city because it's where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have ascended to heaven. The lights in the sky have sparked discussions among some Muslims about whether this could be a sign related to the end times or an important religious event. The idea that the world is heading toward an end times scenario isn't new. It's something that has been talked about for centuries, especially in religious communities. Many people believe that the end of the world will be marked by a dramatic event, like Jesus returning to Earth. But how exactly this return will happen is a big topic of debate among Christians, and there are two main ideas: premillennialism and postmillennialism. Premillennialism is the belief that the world will get worse before it gets better. According to this view, humanity will go through a period of severe turmoil, suffering, and disasters before Jesus comes back. This idea suggests that there will be a lot of chaos, wars, and natural disasters that make it feel like the world is falling apart. Many Christians who hold this belief think that these troubling events are signs that the end is near and that Jesus will soon return to save humanity from its darkest times. In the Pew Research Center survey, about 20% of Americans hold a premillennial view, which means they believe Jesus will return after things get really bad on Earth. This belief is especially common among evangelical Christians, with nearly 44% of them supporting this idea. They tend to see current events like wars, pandemics, and natural disasters as potential signs of the end times. For many evangelicals, the idea of premillennialism is comforting in a way. Even though it predicts difficult times ahead, it also promises that Jesus will return to make everything right. This belief is deeply tied to certain Bible passages, especially from the book of Revelation, which describe a period of great suffering before Jesus' return. For these believers, the worsening global conditions are not just random. They are seen as part of a divine plan that will eventually lead to a better world after Jesus comes back. On the other hand, there is a much smaller group of Christians who believe in post-millennialism. This view is almost the opposite of premillennialism. It suggests that instead of the world getting worse, it will actually get better before Jesus returns. According to postmillennialism, there will be a period of peace, prosperity, and widespread goodness on earth. Only after this time of improvement will Jesus come back to establish his kingdom. This view is less common in the United States today. In fact, only about 3% of Americans say they believe in postmillennialism. It's a belief that was more popular in the past, especially during times when society was making big improvements in areas like health, technology, and social justice. People who believe in postmillennialism tend to be more optimistic about the future, thinking that humanity can solve its problems and create a better world. They see Jesus' return as the final step in a process where humans, guided by faith and morality, have already made significant progress. While premillennialism and postmillennialism offer two different ideas about how the end times might unfold, many people are not sure about either of these scenarios. According to the survey, about 1/3 of Americans believe that it's impossible to know what will happen before Jesus returns. This includes a large number of Catholics and members of historically Black Protestant churches who are hesitant to say for sure what the world will look like when Jesus comes back. For them, it's a mystery that only God knows, and trying to predict it is seen as pointless or even disrespectful. This uncertainty reflects a more open-ended approach to faith. Rather than focusing on specific events that might signal the end times, these believers focus more on living a good moral life and trusting that God has a plan, even if it's beyond human understanding. They may read the Bible and see the prophecies, but they don't claim to know exactly how or when these events will happen. For them, the exact timing of Jesus' return is less important than the belief that he will return someday. What do you think? Is this a fulfillment of ancient prophecies, or is there a simpler explanation? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into more incredible stories like this one.